Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of The Professor's Picks alongside the man himself, Mr. Ken Golden from the Laser's Edge. As you can see up in the corner,
Hey,
up in this corner. I don't
yeah,
know.
that's right. You can see it. You can see it up in the corner.
It's
Oh,
there, up there, something well,
I, I
the way
could,
this is going to come across to everybody, we're going to be side by side, but when we're recording this, Ken is above me. So it's like,
and it's funny enough, watching it while we're recording it, you're above me. So I
never
can never
turned out the
figure
way
out,
it looks. Yeah, I know.
and I can never figure out left, right, and of course everything's reversed. My Heldon shirt is reversed. I'm I'm dizzy by the time we're done, man.
I know. It's complicated. The Zoom is
So,
complicated.
all
So
right,
hopefully you got lots of good stuff for everybody today.
yeah, it's actually a pretty good, a pretty busy week. So
Cool.
we had a lot
Let's
of
sit back and relax and soak it all in. What do you got?
yeah, and there's some really cool stuff coming. So it's going to keep on going for a little while. All right. So no, there's no significant restocks. If you're looking for squeaky feet, still they'll be here any moment. They're in transit. No Spoon, those guys have run out of discs, so we're out of it. They're repressing it. Good for them. So at some point we'll have it back. No pre-orders this week. Nothing of significance. Nothing. So let's just go right into the new CDs. Right. First thing, I'm doing alphabetically. Argent original album classics. This just came out on the Music on CD label, which is an offshoot from Music on Vinyl, and it's the first five albums from Argent, and a band that I kind of overlooked, I think. So
Yeah, yeah, good band.
they had, yeah, I got lucky and I picked up a couple of import copies of a couple of the later albums. And very, very good.
Yeah,
So
great keyboard player and underrated.
yeah,
Yeah,
I would call them. I think I would call them a prog band. Wouldn't you? I mean,
yeah, I mean a good chunk
hard
of what
rock,
they
prog.
did. Yeah, hard rock, a little bit of pop. Lots of prog embellishments, and those latter couple albums are pretty strong. I think a lot of people
So
overlook it. They look at like that second and third albums as kind of like their big albums, but don't sleep on those last two. I mean, this is a great set. What is this going for? These sets are so affordable. It's
Jim, do you know what we're selling the Origin for? $26, and you're getting
yeah, can't
five.
beat that. Five
Five
albums.
this, man. You buy this, you can hold your head up.
Yeah. Yes, you can.
All right, I submitted to peer pressure. George made me do it. I got the new Avenged Sevenfold. Life,
Woo!
Life is but a dream. And listen, that's a pretty good album.
I'm gonna have to cave in and get it, I think. I
I
gave it
that
a quick
was,
listen back when it first came out because George was like, it's so great, it's so great. And I was like, yeah, but
you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like early Pain of Salvation.
kind of
There's,
quirky and
there's a
weird.
little bit of chaos, but
Yeah.
like controlled chaos to it. And I found it pretty good. It was not what it really wasn't. It wasn't what I expected, and I never would have checked it out if everybody was saying that this was like their prog metal album.
Yeah.
So, and it is. Speaking of very good prog metal, got the new one from Australia, Caligula's Horse, Charcoal Grace. I think I'm going to break down and go see them. They're playing in Philly, I think next week. I think it is. I'm going to go see them. Yeah. So
Inside Out,
finally
right?
get to see, finally get to see Jim Gray sing live. Third part, here it is. The Chronicles of Father Robin, the Songs and Tales of Eroia, Book 3. Vinyl is delayed. This label, man, for some reason they can't get their vinyl out on time. So we'll have the vinyl. We took pre-orders on the vinyl, and that's going to go out whenever we get it. So
My CD's on its way to me, I would imagine, right?
it is. Yeah, you got a pretty good package coming to you.
Yep.
So you got some cool stuff in there. All right, next couple of reissues from Billy Cobham. We got Shabazz,
Good one.
and then we got Inner Conflicts.
Another
So
good
kind
one.
of classic funky fusion. Shabazz is the live album.
Yep.
And, yeah, and so you know what you're getting there. Right?
Yeah, both well worth having. That's really good.
All right, now this next one. I'm almost reluctant to show it because we're going to sell out of it, and maybe there'll be a handful left by the time this views. But I'm going to show it anyway. The new one from Ellismere, Stranger Skies, Italian band. Actually, it's a project guy named Roberto Vitelli, and he brings in like this all-star cast. Got all kinds of people playing on it. Sings in English, very symphonic, prog, classic sounding prog. Really nice stuff. Always has like a Rodney Matthews cover, and
Beautiful. Yeah.
we have the vinyl. I'll mention when we get the vinyl. That's part of the reason why I'm mentioning it, because I'll be showing it on vinyl, and somebody's going to say, "How come you don't have it on CD?" So it's possible when this airs, we might have a handful. They're going to be gone by Friday evening. They'll be gone, and the label is actually doing a new Semiramis album, and that's going to be out in a few weeks. So we'll restock Ellismere. So we'll have this back. So very good stuff. Next one came to me as a bit of a surprise. Emerald City Council, Motion Carries. It's Jake Livgren. It's I guess he's Kerry's son, I believe.
Yep. Yep.
And and I think wasn't he also in Protocol? I think he was in Protocol.
Yeah, in the more modern version of Protocol.
Yeah, yes.
Nearfest. Yeah, he was.
He would have been an embryo, I think,
Yeah.
you know. So it kind of sounds like what you expect. I mean, if you're into like the whole Spock's beard, I actually hear a lot of Kansas in this, like more like contemporary Kansas.
Yep.
It has that feel to it, and it was pretty well done. I kind of like the cover.
Yeah,
So
that was really nice.
yeah, it's Neil Morse band, that kind of thing. It's for you. Next one is I believe this is an 8 CD box set from Humble Pie. It's called the A&M CD box set, and it's got a lot of I think if I'm not mistaken, it's 7 albums. There's 7 albums plus an 8th disc with unreleased tracks, rare tracks, singles tracks, besides that kind of a thing. And don't have too many of those left, but we have it in stock at the moment. Next one, the new one from Neil Morse, The Restoration, Joseph Part 2. This is separate from the Neil Morse band. This is more of a rock opera, Christian themed. So if that's your thing, there you go. This is one you reviewed, and I think is excellent. I think this will be in the back of our minds. I think at the end of 2024, we're making our list. The new one from Vima.
Oh yeah.
Vasti Milenyo. So good symphonic prog, a lot of old school keyboards. They sing in Finnish. So if that's a problem for you, stay clear. But if you don't mind, it's a good singer. If you don't mind it, I mean, if you listen to Italian prog or German, what's the difference, right?
Yeah.
But the music's very good. And in that regard, we also brought in their first 2 albums. There was a 15-year gap for this new album. I think they're all worth having. All very good. Last CD for the week is a jazz killer reissue from Mal Waldron and Tara Masahino. It's called Reminiscent Suite. This is like, it's a pretty rare album. Mal Waldron was great keyboard player, great jazz pianist, really. I shouldn't say keyboardist, because the guy only made 2 albums where he played electric piano, and he was known as a pianist. Man, this guy hits the keys so hard. Yeah, I don't know, the keys don't fall off. But Tara Masahino is a great trumpeter, and Waldron made a lot of recordings in Japan, and the lineup is like a who's who of Japanese jazz greats. It's just 2 sidelong tracks. Phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. You would dig this, and really, I'm not sure I would call it spiritual or anything like that. But it's got this intensity about it, and it's a killer. All right, moving over to vinyl. We got some jazz, British jazz. Harry Beckett, Flare Up. Also kind of rare. He was born in the Caribbean, and he had a career in the UK. This one's kind of like sort of like an electric jazz session. Got John Taylor on electric piano, Frank Riccotti on vibes, Alan Skidmore, Graham Collier. Kind of like a modal electric jazz thing. It's quite nice. Also on vinyl in black and also on apricot vinyl, Caligula's Horse, Charcoal Grace. Ellis Mere, Stranger Skies on colored vinyl. I don't remember. Jim, was it green vinyl, I think, or something? I don't know. Next one, I don't know. Next one, another jazz one. It's really cool one, kind of like a Cosmic Groove type thing from Layla. It was Lilac vinyl. Okay. So from Azar Lawrence, Summer Solstice from the 70s. Azar Lawrence, great soprano sax and tenor player. Also plays flute on here. It's kind of almost has like a cross between like modal jazz, electric jazz, new age. It's kind of, it definitely has like a spiritual feeling. All his albums are quite good. Neil Morse again, The Restoration, Joseph Part 2 on vinyl. This is a reissue of Scapa Flow, which was a great Finnish band. It came out in 1980, and they had a lot of similarities to White Willow. Female vocalists, male harmonies, and of course 1980. It's all vintage, authentic, keyboards. And for some reason, the guys from Vima licensed it from Warner and reissued it. So why, I don't know. I used to own an original. It's a very good album. Next one. This is one of the rarest British jazz albums from the great John Surman, called Tales of the Algonquin. Original copies of this are astronomical, and Decca Universal did a beautiful job reproducing the original, like flip back jacket, what they call the flip back jacket, and it's kind of like a who's who or the British jazz scene. Everybody's playing on the thing. It's got John Taylor, Alan Skidmore, Malcolm Griffiths. I don't know if you remember Malcolm Griffiths. He played, with Caravan also. Stu Martin on drums. Everybody's on this bloody thing. And it's kind of interesting because the first side is a little more traditional big band, but the second side is just a side-long track. It's the title track. It's got a little bit more of an avant-garde feel and quite good. Then we got the Vimas on vinyl. We've got the Terra Masahino Mal Waldron Reminiscent Suite on vinyl. And now it's time for cheap shit. And I just got a little bit of cheap shit for that. So we got these are good deals. The next they're $7.50 each. Alice Coltrane, Transcendence. Kind of clearly spiritual jazz. She's playing harp. There's a lot of chanting, a lot of a little new agey. It's not her best, but it's pretty cool. Make good background music. Next one. This is a great one. Danny Gatton, 88 Elmira Street. I mean, he was the guitarist, and he's just, I mean, the guy could play in all different styles, and this is like a showcase for just, if you dig guitar and you don't own this record, you got to have this record.
Yeah, the king of the Telecaster, man. Yeah,
he was great. I did see when he did that thing where they would call out a different guitar player and he would replicate their sound. They call out like David Gilmour, and he's doing David Gilmour. Yeah, he was great. And the last one we have is another nice cheapie, Herbie Hancock, original soundtrack to Death Wish.
Oh wow, okay, cool.
Great movie. It was a great movie. So it's kind of like, when Herbie was doing like the whole funky, Headhunters kind of a thing. So it's nice, and for $7.50, I don't think you can go wrong. So I got some other cheap shit that came in, which is not up on the site yet, and I'm going to be working on it. And so if you poke around the site, you might find some interesting psychedelic stuff that came in from Germany that we're gonna put up. And, that's what we have for the week.
Cool. Lots to look forward to, and lots to check out now, right?
Yeah, and we got I think I mentioned to you before we started recording, got a shipment coming from Argentina. I have stuff coming from Spain. I have stuff coming from Germany. Gonna have more, esoteric restocks and some new stuff from them. By the way, if somebody's gonna ask about the Jack Bruce box set, I found out this morning that I got bumped into March. So I don't know if you knew there was this.
So like a box set of all his like solo stuff, or is it?
Yeah. Esoteric was doing it. Yeah, it just got bumped. I think March 9th or something like that. It was supposed to be out. Just be out on 26th. So yeah, so that's what we got. Just keep checking the site. Buy a lot, buy often.
There you go. And we'll remember, go to lasercd.com is the link. I'll have that posted down below, as well as all the titles that Ken mentioned today. For those of you who like to copy and paste away, it'll all be down pinned in the comments below. So go check that out and tune in next week for another episode of the Professor's Picks. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, all together, all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as we post. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Again, check out lasercd.com for these and lots of other titles. And we'll see you tomorrow on the UK Connection, and also ranking the albums on Sunday. And then, of course, we got In the Prog Seat next week. It's In the Prog Seat week. We're going to be visiting 1994. Fun episode.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. So tune in for that and lots more. Ken Golden, I'm Pete Pardo. See you next week here on the Professor's Picks. Till then, have a great weekend, everybody. Take care.
Bye-bye.